I'm going to level with you here. This is not a coming-of-age story like Catcher in the Rye. I'm 20 years old, and my age has come and gone. All I want to do is tell my story. This isn't going to have any unexpected endings like Rebecca or a major plot twist like Romeo and Juliet. This is just my story, about my loss and the mistakes that I made along the way. My name is Andrew, and this is the story of how I lost both my girlfriend and my best friend all in the same summer. So I guess I'll start with some introductions. This is Kru, my best friend. Don't worry, that's only his nickname because his last name is Kruger, and no, his name isn't Freddy. It's James. But Jimmy didn't really seem to fit him. Kru did though. What you have to understand is that he's a bit of an odd duck. See, the thing about Kru is that he likes to do the strangest things and nobody gets it. Except for me. His new thing now is doing parkour randomly when no one is watching. Or asking the lady at the pizza shop if they have any Chinese food. He's honest, and always has been. It is what makes him unique that there's nothing about him that can't be discovered. We grew up together on the ice. Just in two different ways. It didn't hinder us in any way. Actually, Kru started in hockey, but it became boring for him, so he switched to figure skating. That and he got more tail that way. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that he's a ladies' man. Not me though. I've been with the same amazing girl Anna for 2 years now. We're in love. Though we fight constantly, it's never about anything serious. I've heard once that if you don't fight with your significant other, then you don't care enough to make it right. With us, it's always right. The story really begins about a week ago. Kru and I were just talking, something we normally did because there's nothing worthwhile doing in this little town. He was telling me about this new girl that he met, and it didn't really strike a chord with me, because he meets a new one every week. It's the same old thing. She's so fantastic, I can't stop thinking about her. She's gonna be the one. Then he dates her, then all the magic seems to fade. Even though he breaks up with them, they still seem to think that he's the most amazing thing in the world. I can never tell if I admired him for it, or if it really bothered me. And then, out of the blue, he mentioned Anna, a topic not normally approached, and how he envied me and my relationship. I would say that we're both the most important people in my life. The three of us would hang out, but I always sensed that Anna wasn't too thrilled about how easily Kru would bring a new girl around. I didn't try to push their friendship. I can't tell you how it started or what started it, but all of a sudden I noticed that they were having their own conversations. I didn't need to be the instigator anymore. The tension just started to drift away. They even started talking to each other when I would leave or over text when we'd be apart. Kru seemed to hint that if it was her way of figuring out what was going on in my head or seeing if the fight we had the week before was still bothering me. It was really sweet to know that she put aside her anger at him just to understand me a little bit better. All of a sudden though, it seemed to turn into something more. I decided to get us to start hanging out as a group more, trying to understand what their odd connection was. Sometimes it was the three of us, but most of the time it was four when Kru had his flavor of the week. Anna didn't seem bothered by it anymore. I was kind of relieved, I guess. Then one day I found out that the two of them were hanging out one-on-one when I was working. I was never worried. They always told me when they were going to hang out and what they were doing. I would get the occasional update while I was at work. But something didn't feel right in the pit of my stomach. And because there was nothing concrete to go on, I didn't really know how to approach it with either of them. I didn't want to come off as being a jealous boyfriend because it didn't feel like jealousy. Maybe I watched too many movies, but you always see how a simple hand touch can show all the emotions happening between two people. For me, that was all it took with Anna. I knew when I touched her hand. I also knew that when I saw them touching hands, it felt like my heart had been ripped out. You see, when Kru mentioned that he wished he had a relationship like mine, I didn't realize he wanted my relationship. I just decided to walk away, not say a word. They had made their choice, knowing full well that it would hurt me. So what would yelling and fighting do? Besides, I didn't want to know what they were doing. My imagination took care of that. I just shut down inside, kind of hid in my own world. I didn't want to talk to either of them, and I definitely didn't want to see them. How does a person wrap their head around it? I lost them both. I got my heart broken. I did nothing wrong. Why do they end up with a happy ending? I look back and try to figure out what went wrong. I now know that if I had just said something, none of this would have happened. Everyone tells me that there's nothing I could have done, but that never helps. I knew what was going to happen, because that feeling in the pit of my stomach told me. I just didn't listen.
Just another warning sign failed to show. Looking for a reason why I knew we'd never know. And every time it leads us here, we're high and dry.